Episode 1 in Yokohama City, Kanagawa Prefecture. A 60-meter-tall monster is approaching the city, causing residents to evacuate in panic. The military forces with abundant firepower are also present and ready to fight. An elite team is dropped by helicopter and starts firing, injuring the monster, and a large-caliber bullet from a girl's gun takes it down. The battle ends, and it's time for Habino Kappa's cleanup team to go to work. Their mission is to clean up the carcass and bring specimens back for research. Unlike the monster extermination team that everyone praises, they work silently, unnoticed by anyone. A new recruit in the team is careless and hoists a bag of flesh, causing it to explode. The blood is corrosive, but luckily it's only a superficial wound, so Kappa can handle it easily. He is also assigned to clean another part, which is the intestines, and everyone knows what's inside the intestines. Kappa immediately refuses, but the order has been approved, so he has to accept. Its stench lingers in his nose even when he gets home, making him very uncomfortable. Suddenly, the TV shows the image of the girl from the morning. The girl's name is Ashiro Mina, and she seems to know Kappa, only 27 years old. She has defeated hundreds of monsters and holds the position of captain of Squad 3, as well as being a candidate for future brigade commander. Seeing that, Kappa feels a bit down because he is still just a cleanup worker. The next morning, Kappa arrives at work and is introduced to a new employee named Ichikawa, who wishes to join the defense force. When he learns that Kappa once shared the same dream, the young man immediately asks Kappa why he gave it up. He hesitates and replies vaguely that there's always a higher mountain, but Ichikawa doesn't accept it and leaves. Both are assigned to clean the intestines again, making Kappa look annoyed but still working enthusiastically. Indeed, the smell is so terrible that neither of them can eat lunch. Kappa gives Ikukawa a carton of milk to stave off hunger and a pair of nose plugs to help with the smell. At the end of the day, they quickly finish the job and pack up their belongings. Ichikawa thanks Kappa for the nose plugs and advises him not to give up on his dream. While talking, a monster suddenly appears behind them, intending to attack Ichikawa, but luckily Kappa pushes him out of the way in time. He tells the young man to quickly report while he stays behind as a decoy to stall it. Kappa lures the monster into a building and quickly jumps out of the window, breaking the glass. Remembering his childhood, he had promised Mina they would exterminate monsters together. Kappa picks up a metal bar, intending to fight it alone, but is knocked out by a single blow. Just as he's about to be eaten, Ichikawa returns to rescue him, but can't hold out for long either. Kappa feels helpless that after all these years, he's still the same and can't protect anything. The monster is about to attack both of them, but luckily a soldier from Squad 3 rescues them and takes them to the hospital. In the hospital, while talking with Ichikawa, a small monster appears in front of Kappa and quickly enters his mouth, causing him to panic. Ichikawa opens the curtain and is surprised to see Kappa has transformed into a muscular monster. While they are bewildered, an old man passes by, spots them, and raises the alarm. Episode 2. Mina recalls old memories while preparing to go to the hospital due to a monster sighting report. In the hospital, Kappa and Ichikawa want to amicably resolve the situation with the old man. The young man tries to smile at him, but the old man reacts in the most aggressive way possible. Placing his hand on the wall, it immediately breaks apart, alarming the surrounding rooms. Intending to open the window to escape, his power shatters the glass door. His power far exceeds that of a normal human, surprising him about his own strength. While running away, he transforms into a disgusting appearance, but luckily, he manages to revert to his original form, although the process is a bit messy. He's not out of the woods yet, as he unexpectedly needs to urinate at a stressful moment. In the new body, he can't control himself and lets loose in a position that I can't even describe. Well, this means no getting married or anything like that. But then Kappa realizes that in this body, how can he become a defense force member? They'll kill him as soon as they see him. Kappa slowly calms down, and Ichikawa spots a safe white fence. The young man tells him to jump over it to avoid capture, but suddenly, he senses a monster similar to the one that previously attacked him approaching. Seeing this as a chance to escape, Ichikawa urges him to run over quickly because the pursuit forces have lessened, but Kappa doesn't do that. Instead, he runs to rescue a mother and child targeted by the monster. One punch after another. The monster is sent flying hundreds of meters away by him. He tries to comfort the baby when he sees she's afraid, but look at his smile. There's no friendliness at all. Ichikawa runs over just as the monster returns. Kappa gathers his strength and throws a punch that shatters the monster's body into a rain of blood, surprising even himself with this power. Although the little girl knows he is her mother's benefactor, she is still scared of his current appearance. Seeing Kappa about to leave, the girl says thank you, which reminds him of his childhood promise with Mina. He can't give up here, and his body gradually transforms back into human form. Mina's team is very surprised when they hear about a monster protecting a mother and child. The next morning, news about Monster No 8 is broadcast on television. Kappa's manager gives Ichikawa 2 sets of admission postcards and asks him to give one to Kappa. It turns out, both of them passed the first round of the Defense Force entrance exam. Ichikawa excitedly runs out to deliver the news, but his joy is cut short when he sees Kappa in his monster form. He tells him to change back, but Kappa makes a fuss, causing Ichikawa to get furious and scold him. The young man worries that he will be exposed, but Kappa will participate anyway because he wants to stand alongside Mina. Worrying is natural, but transforming into a monster by opening the water pipe, who would believe him? At the exam location, the two run into an arrogant blonde girl. Not only does she call Kappa old man, but she also arrogantly demands that he park his car somewhere else. When her request is not met, the young girl takes off her jacket, revealing a strange suit underneath that allows her to single-handedly lift Kappa's van and toss it aside, astonishing both of them. Her name is Shinomiya Kikuru. Makes Ichikawa recall something. The girl approaches Kappa and smells a monster scent from his body. Episode 3. Kikuru seems to smell a monster scent from his body. Luckily, Ichikawa intervenes, saying he is a cleanup crew member and he manages to escape trouble. Kappa secretly transforms his arm into a monster arm to lift his car back in response to Kikuru. Ichikawa, who finds out and is about to scold him, ends up entering the exam area with him after security guards praise Kappa. The second round is divided into 2 parts, physical ability and aptitude. Kappa plans to earn points in the physical ability section. However, being over 30, the running and jumping exercises seem too much for him. The girl, Kikuru, who ranks in the top 5, runs over to taunt him again, making him feel extremely embarrassed. These two are ridiculously slow. He ranks high when counted from the bottom. Despite this, he is determined not to use his monster power for the fairness of the competition. But achieving a high rank is difficult because this year's exam includes a series of excellent candidates from top Japanese universities and colleges, as well as young talents from the Earth Defense Force. Finally, the opponents include a bunch of real aces. 16 years old, skipped grades, and graduated as valedictorian from a top university in California, Shinomiya Kikuru. Realizing he messed with the wrong person, the old man panics and tries to talk to the girl, but ends up getting beaten up by the security guards until his face is swollen. On top of that, he's rumored to be an obsessive fan. Kikuru runs over to taunt him a second time, making him angry and swear to make her regret it. According to Ichikawa, the aptitude test this time might be monster dissection. However, the organizers changed it to monster extermination, catching Kappa off guard. The exam also equips each person with a suit, which enhances fighting strength and helps measure individual combat power. This year, the number of candidates achieving over 10% increased significantly, surprising the examiners. Nevertheless, Kikuru's 46% combat power astonishes everyone at the test site. Ichikawa achieves 8%, and the first case of the test site appears. It's the old man Kappa. 0% makes everyone disbelieve their eyes. The candidates are taken to the training ground to begin the competition. Each person will have a personal tracker to monitor their activities. The supervisors use it to activate a white shield when they feel the individual's life is in danger, at which point they are eliminated. Indeed, 46% is not just a number, as right at the beginning. The young Kikuru leaps and cleans up 3 monsters in an instant. Kappa realizes that the main criteria for evaluation are ability and adaptability, so he utilizes his years of knowledge to assist the recruits in exterminating monsters. Just as he feels successful, a monster rushes out from nowhere and attacks, knocking him down. Luckily, he is rescued by Kikuru. He is diagnosed with fractured bones and internal injuries. Yet, he refuses to give up and stands up. His combat power also increases to 0.01%, to everyone's surprise and under Mina's gaze. Episode 4. Kappa and Ichikawa join forces and advance using a strategy. He lets the young man carry him around the battlefield instead. He tells the young man to speed up to timely support everyone, especially Kikuru. Nevertheless, with 46% combat power, she quickly takes down several small monsters and proceeds to give the final boss a headshot, ending the competition and earning everyone's respect. Just as she is about to turn back to the old man, a monster appears and lands a blow to her heart. The lesser monsters from before are also unexpectedly resurrected and become stronger. Thanks to her focused concentration, Kikuru can still fight. And she is surprised that the human-like monster is intelligent enough to talk to the boss monster like a pet. Kikuru intends to attack, but he shoots 4 bullets into her limbs, causing her to fall heavily. Sensing the anomaly, Mina and Hoshina prepare to provide backup. The evacuation warning sounds, but Kikuru ignores it and insists on continuing to fight. As soon as she stands up, the monster delivers a blow that pins her tightly against the wall. It is precisely because of her overbearing father, who always wanted his daughter to become great, that Kikuru is the way she is. She fights fiercely until her right arm is broken and she can no longer hold her gun. Just as she is about to be defeated by the boss, Kappa arrives and blocks the attack for her in his monster form. Despite the cool transformation, he immediately kneels and begs Kikuru to keep his secret, leaving her stunned. The monster tries to sneak attack, but he flicks it away and gives it a punch that obliterates it. He even challenges it to regenerate, but he gets so scared that he begs and kneels to it instead. Kappa also manages to kill the small monster behind Kikuru in time and advises her to value her life. Ichikawa also arrives and hits him for the reckless transformation. Kikuru faints, forcing them to bring her back to safety. Mina and Hoshina arrive to clean up the remnants, and the battlefield reminds them of a previous incident. After that incident, Kappa is hospitalized, and Mina comes to thank him for his help in saving them and then leaves. He knows this is not the right time to talk to her and hopes she will wait. On this side, Kikuru also wakes up and takes responsibility for eliminating the monster to protect the 32-year-old man's secret. The human-like monster is also gathering information in a public restroom, and it's surprisingly one of Kappa's cleanup team members. Episode 5. At work, Kappa and Ichikawa argue due to anxiety about the results. The two open the mail that has just arrived, and its content surprises Kappa greatly. The next day is the certificate awarding ceremony for enlistment. As expected, most people passed, but the old man's shadow is nowhere to be seen. Due to her excellent performance in the competition, Kikuru is invited to give a speech. Mina thanks the girl for the incident after the exam, making the young girl a little sad because this thank you should have been for Kappa, not her. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. With his exam results, the old man should have failed. Luckily, Hoshina speaks up for him and accepts him as a reserve member. Next is Mina's speech. Seeing her now, the old man can't help but call her name and speak his mind. That was a good speech. It earned him 100 push-ups, fitting for an old man. Hoshina is laughing heartily next to him when he sees the captain entering with a slight smile. The vice captain also accepts Kappa because he wants to investigate the strange occurrences around him. When a Kaiju of 9.8 magnitude appears, his life sign disappears. After completing his punishment, Kappa is called out by Kikuru for a private talk. The two discuss the transformation into a monster and get worked up, making Ichikawa angry for fear of being exposed. Kappa intends to tell the defense force, but hearing Kikuru say he would be experimented on and used for weapon parts, he changes his mind. The old man asks her to keep the secret, and the girl warns him that if he proactively kills a human, she will personally take him down. The recruits then undergo training. Their progress gradually increases, and when Kappa's combat power rises to 1%, he is overjoyed and shows off to Kikuru. At the end of the training session, they are all made to run 10 laps around the field, leaving everyone exhausted. In the sauna, the young men are eagerly comparing their physical bodies. The old man also intends to show off a little, but his beer belly is exposed, making everyone laugh. Similarly, when they see the muscles of a senior ground defense member, they all jump into the water to hide, not daring to show their faces. The group later sits down and chats. The young men's goal of becoming a defense force member is all because of Mina. So when the old man reveals he is the captain's childhood friend, the boys eagerly force him to tell them details to the point where they suffer heat stroke and have to lie down in a long line. The recruits then train diligently and gradually become closer to each other. At night, While everyone is sleeping, Kappa still goes to the library to study diligently and is spotted by Hoshina. Kappa says his goal is the vice captain position to be by Mina's side. Hoshina advises him not to get too close to other squad members, as this is a job where anyone can face danger at any moment. Immediately, the alarm sounds and the first mission begins. Episode 6. The Defense Force is planning a battle against a monster in Sagamihara Prefecture. Because it is mating season, there are many small monsters around. Mina selects the sweep area as Bravo, and the whole team prepares to head to the battleground. Their mission is to eliminate all remaining monsters to prevent them from escaping. Squads with recruits will be positioned at the rear, and Hoshina's group will be the final defense line. Kappa has a quick call via radio with Ichikawa. Although he knows this is completely different from the exam, the old man feels incredibly excited for some reason. Despite his enthusiasm, the way he crawls down from the rooftop looks quite cowardly. Captain Mina has arrived at the firing location. The ground forces are luring the monsters to the designated area. On this side, Kappa is also fired up as the monsters approach. He activates his combat power, but since he only has 1%, he is blown away to a garbage dump. Offended by the senior member, Kakeru immediately shows off some moves to let her superior know not to look down on the new generation. It is true that the fancy suit is different. It can even measure Kakeru's heart rate suddenly increasing when the old man praises her. On another front, Ichikawa thinks he has neatly dealt with a monster without any help. This year's recruits are also showing promising progress, surprising the veterans. Seeing his subordinates try so hard, Kappa comes up with the idea of finding the monster's weakness to support everyone. Thanks to his suit, he can quickly analyze the monster and report its weakness is in the nape of the neck to Hoshina. He also informs them that the small monsters have a reproductive organ at the back of their mouths that can generate new individuals from old corpses. Just as he is about to neutralize other corpses, Kappa sees his childhood friend. Indeed, her power is far superior to his in all aspects, and if he wants to stand by her side, he must try even harder. Hoshina also shows Kappa his power as his quick sword movement cleanly slices through a small monster without trace. The small monsters inside the monster's body also start to approach, yet most recruits are already exhausted. Most Defense Force members only exhibit strength around 20% to 30%. Those who can surpass that barrier can advance to the captain level. In Hoshina's opinion, besides Kikuru, Ichikawa might also surpass it. As for the young man, he and Iharu encounter the monster from the previous exam. Episode 7. The monster begins to attack Iharu, injuring him. He transforms and decides to capture them as live specimens. Their communication device is also disabled by him, so they have no choice but to confront him. Ishikawa remembers Kakuru's words while being attacked and manages to predict the strike. The young man plans to stall it so Iharu can run and report to everyone. The redhead runs a short distance but then returns to fight alongside him. Iharu uses an electric discharge weapon to attack, covering Ishikawa's advance. Thanks to his focus, the redhead can dodge the monster's attack and shoot them, causing it to be paralyzed. Seizing the opportunity, Ishikawa unleashes his maximum combat power, hoping to eliminate it cleanly. However, the monster uses nearby monster corpses as shields for himself and launches a series of attacks, causing Ishikawa to fall. Ishikawa, or rather Kappa, immediately transforms to rescue him. Even in his monster body, the opponent's shots still injure him. Outraged by what he did to his subordinate, Kappa increases his strength and attacks continuously, giving the monster no time to fight back. Just as he is about to finish the monster after spotting its core, he is discovered by a squad, confusing the old man. The monster takes the opportunity, quickly recovers, and shoots 2 bullets toward the squad, forcing Kappa to shield them with his body, allowing the monster to escape. The old man is about to slip into an alley but is spotted by Hoshina. The vice captain's sword-wielding speed gives Kappa no time to react. Hoshina's current combat state is unlike what he saw in the training area. Episode 8. Kappa is struggling with not being able to attack Hoshina, but a cold blade from the vice captain snaps him back to reality. The lightning-fast attack speed prevents the old man from hardening himself in time, revealing his core. Knowing he can't run away, Kappa begins to fight back. Hoshina executes 2 slashes, even though the old man dodges, then closes in and delivers the final slash to the core. Luckily, Kappa realized this early on, managed to block it, and then used a punch to break Hoshina's sword before quickly running away. Kappa returns to Kikuru's location to apologize for letting the monster escape. Despite being covered in injuries, the old man still wants to check on Ichikawa and Iharu but is stopped and scolded by her. The girl scolds him for clashing with the vice captain. If he discovers anything, it is as good as everything falling apart. On this side, Hoshina always feels strange after confronting Monster No 8 because its actions are very human-like. The intelligence side reports that the entity that attacked Ichikawa and Iharu is the same one that appeared at the exam site. However, when encountered, it was in human form. Knowing this creature can transform for disguise, they decide to name it Monster No 9. Ichikawa and Iharu later recover in the hospital. The girl thanks Kappa, making the redhead suspicious. Plus, Iharu praises him repeatedly, making the old man extremely proud. Luckily, the young man is easily fooled, so Kikuru's small excuse is enough to successfully gain his trust. Everyone throws a victory party hosted by the rich man Haruichi. They thought it would be a fun party with laughter, but just a few seconds later, everyone starts fighting. It's okay, it's an annual tradition. Hoshina also stands up to announce that Kappa will be accepted as an official member due to his contribution in finding ways to neutralize the monsters, making everyone very happy and congratulating the old man. Finally, Kappa can talk to Mina. She advises him to try harder to fulfill his promise of walking alongside her. Late at night, while studying, Kappa discovers Hoshina is reviewing their previous fight to gain experience, making him feel on par with him. Seeing that the vice captain trains not only for the people but also to protect the defense force members, Kappa greatly admires him. Episode 9. Kappa is pondering on the rooftop when he sees a series of fireballs heading towards the ground. It seems the monsters have launched an aerial attack, and all of them have the strength equivalent to a main Kaiju. The front here will be commanded by Vice Captain Hoshina as Captain Mina is absent. He calls on everyone to herd them into the training ground. But since there are no reports of external damage, their target seems to be Squad 3's headquarters. At the same time, Kappa reports important information to the vice captain. The attackers belong to the Yoju species. Each body of this species always operates individually, which raises his suspicion. Hoshina realizes there is only one possibility to control the arrogant Yoju and make them act with a purpose, a leader with overwhelming intelligence and power. Very quickly, that individual appears, asking for the strongest person here. Hoshina accepts the honor and begins to investigate. He is a super monster with the ability to speak human language, surprising them. He immediately attacks. Luckily, Hoshina manages to dodge in time. The powerful destructive force and agility of this creature make even a strong person like the vice captain cautious. Identifying this as the headquarters, he roars, giving the attack order, and the other monsters begin to react. On the defense force side, Kappa is commanding everyone to fight the Yoju. Their plan is for one group to stand in front as a decoy while the other attacks from behind, as that is their weak point. The plan fails not long after deployment. The dragons are not only strong but also know how to coordinate and support each other, making it very difficult to approach them from behind. If so, then a direct attack is needed. Kikuru flies in with her specialized weapon and shatters the armor of one of them. Kikuru is provided with a specialized axe by the headquarters to become the third pillar of the squad, as the monsters this year are unusually numerous and strong. Seeing her so fired up, Ichikawa also doesn't stand still and advances to assist, surprising the girl with his power. The two are tasked with attracting attention at the front, to help everyone, and the old plan is continued. Hoshina on this side is struggling to fight the monster. Its feeling of enjoying the battle makes the vice captain feel perplexed. He lures it to the training ground and requests gate number 3 to be open for easier fighting. The monster punches him flying several meters, but Hoshina manages to activate his maximum combat power in time and slices off one of its arms. On the other side, Kappa transforms his legs to rescue a female defense force member. Just as he is about to boast, the monster launches an attack, but luckily Kikuru's group comes to the rescue in time. Ichikawa begs him not to transform recklessly and to trust the other squad members. Seeing them cooperate so smoothly makes him both surprised and a little proud. The reinforcements from the captains also arrive and repel the monsters. Returning to the battle at gate number 3, the vice captain is confident of victory and begins to charge into the fight. Simple slashes precisely hit the gaps in the monster's armor, causing it to lower its guard. By the time he realizes something is wrong, he has already been sliced into many pieces by Hoshina. Nevertheless, the monster is able to regenerate and is extremely excited to fight on an equal footing. He throws a punch towards the vice captain, only to have his arm sliced into multiple pieces. Detecting the core, the eightfold slash technique is unleashed, seemingly ending the monster, but he moved the core elsewhere and began to grow enormous. After emitting a large amount of steam, his combat power increased to 900. At this moment, he is no longer an opponent the vice captain can handle, even though he has adapted to its new size. The operational limit of the suit has also been reached. If the maximum activation is not deactivated right now, the consequences will be unpredictable. The monster orders the Yoju to advance towards Hoshina and explode. There is not much time left. The vice captain tries to find his weaknesses to attack. He intends to execute Technique No. 6 from behind, but the monster grows many other eyes, detects him, and flings him away. Thanks to activating the maximum shield, he still survives. However, the activated state has ended. Nevertheless, Hoshina is determined to continue fighting despite the supervisor's attempts to stop him. In the past, many people said he was not suitable for the defense force because if he confronted larger monsters, he would surely die using only swords. But then a captain lit a spark of hope for him and wished him to be her pathfinder when she was fighting. Thus, he still doesn't give up, continuing to fight for what she entrusted him with while she was absent. Every technique the vice captain launches only slightly scratches the monster, and then he is easily captured by it. Kappa sees the danger and intends to transform to save the vice captain, but the captain appears just in time to rescue her pathfinder. Mina's appearance makes everyone more confident. Nevertheless, the situation still doesn't seem simple. To deplete the monster's mobility, Hoshina rushes forward, aiming for its legs to make it kneel, with Kikuru's assistance. Mina shoots directly at his back, revealing the core. Others immediately attack the surrounding Yoju to cover her for the final blow. The captain activates her maximum combat power and delivers the final shot that finishes off that formidable monster. Just when they thought everything was over, the remaining monsters gathered to form a gigantic monster bomb with an explosive power equivalent to a nuclear bomb. Realizing the situation is dire, Kappa immediately transforms into Monster No. 8 in front of everyone, stunning them. The old man apologizes to everyone and uses all his strength to carry the monster bomb into the sky to minimize damage. However, the explosion still destroys a considerable area. Everyone miraculously survives, thanks to Kappa shielding them with his body. They thought it was a happy ending, but guns were pointed straight at the back that had just saved their lives. Monster No. 8 has been captured. Episode 11. The leaders of the defense force hold an emergency meeting on how to deal with Monster No. 8. The general commander, also Kikuru's father, decides to order Squad 3 to hand him over for detention, and they will consider further action later. At this time, Kappa is being isolated in a special area. While wondering what the researchers will do with him, Mina and the vice captain enter to escort him to the main headquarters. As soon as he is outside, he dares not face them, especially Ichikawa, as the young man worries about him the most. Nevertheless, the young man still believes that Kappa will return and waits for him. In the escort vehicle, Mina tells the old man that no one in the squad considers him an enemy. They are working hard to find favorable evidence to help the old man escape the death sentence. Kappa asks Mina if he can still aim for a position next to her, and the answer makes the 32-year-old man cry. Outside, the entire Squad 3 salutes behind the moving vehicle to bid farewell to the two. Upon reaching the main headquarters, Kappa is detained in an extremely sturdy room. Everyone in Squad 3 is worried about the old man but can't do anything because this is a major issue beyond their capability. Kikuru goes to see her father to ask him to retract the execution order. Because his X-ray picture shows that his left chest does not contain a heart but a core, her father refuses the request. Nevertheless, Kikuru firmly believes in Kappa after an incident she experienced with the old man while they were in the same squad. Mina announces to her squad members that they will be temporarily transferred to other squads because this place is no longer suitable for training recruits. Most of them disagree with that, but Ichikawa accepts the order without hesitation. The door to the detention room opens. Standing before Kappa is General Commander Shinomiya. He orders the restraints on him to be removed and begins to attack. Seeing the old man still refusing to admit he is a monster, The general commander doesn't hesitate to equip his specialized weapon made from parts of Monster No 2, which once threatened to destroy the entire city. And so the official execution begins. He truly lives up to his reputation as the strongest person in the defense force. The general commander continuously launches attacks, forcing Kappa to transform. However, the old man can no longer control his body. Outside, Monster No 8 completes its transformation and becomes more aggressive. Episode 12. When asked why he accepted the transfer to another squad, Ichikawa immediately replies that he wants to become stronger to protect his senior, Kappa. Everyone in the squad is also worried about the old man, so they write a petition letter, and the captain of Squad 3 is also summoned to the headquarters. At the execution site, Monster No 8 starts charging wildly, attacking General Commander Iso like a wild beast. He manages to react in time and has to use a supersonic blast to send it flying. However, that body is just a decoy, and Monster No 8 regenerates from its core and launches a punch simultaneously with Iso. The shock wave from the two monsters is strong enough to destroy even the second layer of protection of the most fortified headquarters. According to the Vice General Commander, Iza's decision to fight Monster No 8, instead of executing Kappa while he was in human form, is very confusing to him. Kikuru suddenly realizes that her father might be giving Kappa a chance to live. Monster No 8's power begins to spiral out of control. It continuously attacks, giving Iso almost no chance to fight back. Kappa inside is struggling to regain control of his lost body, while Kikuru desperately encourages him, only for him to be completely swallowed by the parasitic monster. Just as the old man sinks into the depths of despair, Mina's words give him the motivation to keep fighting. The blow that seemed to be the end for the general commander is stopped, as he regains consciousness and self-inflicts wounds. "I am not monster, I am Hibino Kappa." After saying that, he collapses and is immediately taken by the medical team. A meeting quickly takes place regarding the execution of Hibino Kappa. Mina is called in only because they don't want her to feel guilty when the verdict is reached. After all, her report is merely a formality, as almost everyone has already reached a conclusion. Mina, as the captain, begins to recount the things Kappa went through to get here, as well as his contributions in previous battles. Despite all the difficulties, the Kappa she knows is someone who never gives up and is always dedicated. The captain of Squad 3 believes that the heart is what determines Hibino Kappa to be a trustworthy member. Although moving, her speech receives many opposing opinions from her superiors. They believe Mina is covering for her subordinate and demand a death sentence. General Commander Iso allows her to return, and everyone begins voting. When Kappa wakes up and sees the General Commander is safe, the old man breathes a sigh of relief because if anything happened to Iso, he wouldn't know how to face Kikuru. The General Commander comes here to inform Kappa about the conclusion. They affirm that he is indeed a monster, but whether this means he is a threat remains to be seen. Most opinions favor execution, but he believes Kappa can control his power and decides to keep him as an unweaponized fighting force. If the monster inside the old man can be utilized, it will be the hope of everyone. Kappa is overjoyed to hear that. He also asserts that he is a defense force member and will definitely make everyone acknowledge it. This episode ends with scenes of everyone receiving the news and feeling happy and relieved to know that Kappa is still alive. The show ends here for now. Goodbye and see you all in the next video.